to Recollections May Vary, a royal recap. I'm Kinsey Schofield here with Maureen Callahan, host of The Nerve. We had such a good nerve this week. Did we not?
Thanks. I thought we had one of the most fun conversations we've ever had. And we went and touched a third rail that no other media outlet is touching. So,
Maybe they should. Maybe we will inspire people to question harder Meghan, the way that Meghan's stories seem to always evolve with no one like People Magazine or Harper's Bazaar saying that's interesting because you didn't say that 10 years ago. She just seems to have a very interesting relationship with the truth and with her past specifically. Like she is shameless when it comes to rewriting her history.
yeah. And what concerns me is what she's going to say upon her father's death about him.
Exactly. And so I
Mhm.
think it's good that we start pointing out now. Here are several examples of her doing this. There's the video circulating from 2013 of her with Craig Ferguson, where she's so flirty, talking about how she loves her dad. The UN speech, where she's talking about how, her dad helped her with this dish soap campaign. I mean,
Oh, which again, he said did not happen that way. It was a class project. Oh my God, how boring is she? How
also
boring is she?
she have you noticed how she tries to make it sound like she got herself, she is her own hero in her Hollywood story. And it's like, girl, I've seen you sitting in chair number 3 in the classroom in Married with Children episode, whatever. Like you wouldn't have been on Married with Children if it weren't for your daddy. Your daddy got you the extra role in General Hospital. Like, like you cannot just ignore the fact that this man gave you so much of what you have today, so many of the opportunities that led to another one.
So apparently, there have been heroes online digging back in the Wayback Machine through the TIG. I was reading this morning, where she also was very effusive about her father on that website. And, you know, my theory as to the quote unquote estrangement is that Thomas Markle has not aged well. He is very overweight. He's a ruddy complexion. He doesn't look like a member of the world to which Meghan so desperately sought to belong and for 5 seconds was a member of. So
But neither,
it's
but neither does Doria. But in Doria's case, it benefited Meghan.
right, right.
It benefited Meghan. Yeah.
It benefited Meghan, even though we still don't know all the interesting things that Meghan could really offer us that would accrue to what she firmly believes is her main character energy when she is literally like extra number 10, like would be, hey, what happened those alleged reported 7 to 10 years where your mom wasn't in the picture?
Yeah.
Where the heck was she? I'd love to know.
Right.
We can't talk about it. Why can't we
Yeah.
talk about it?
Yeah. I know. Her poor dad who gets completely ridden. Yeah. She also used to just love, 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 love on her dad on Instagram, talking about how he used to take her to ballet classes in Bel Air and delis in Beverly Hills. And then once she sits down with People Magazine, she's like, I used to eat at the 4.99 salad bar at Sizzler. And it's like,
Don't
what?
forget when she wasn't eating off her tray table at home while reading Ms. and watching Jeopardy.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Oh my gosh. The purpose of or the purpose of our nerve convo though was I think you agree with me that Meghan Markle has not sincerely reached out to her father since he's had his leg amputated, and then this is all just PR spin. Am I right in saying that?
You can boldly make that assumption, my friend. You really can. You want to tell me that Meghan Markle can't ascertain. I know she tears through people, through staff, like Kleenex. However, reportedly, allegedly, she does that. She could easily. Thomas Markle has said that his phone number has not changed.
That's
Um,
wild. That was the wildest quote to me. I was floored when I read that. Your
Kinsey,
phone
how
number.
many people do you have in your phone book who you haven't spoken to in like 15 years? I've got reams of them.
A lot, a lot.
There's no way this trick doesn't have contact info for her father or any of her estranged half siblings.
Well, let's talk about I love this story. I mean, this is not the first time Kitson's done this, but Meghan Markle has been labeled Villain of the Year and a Montecito diva by LA boutique Kitson. The trendy Robertson Boulevard store has included her in a gallery of holiday hypocrites featured in its scathing Christmas window display. They named Meghan one of 2025's villains alongside Governor Gavin Newsom, George Clooney, and Katy Perry. What I love about this, okay, so you and I hope I'm allowed to say this, we're sitting at the Polo Lounge and we were actually like laughing at the, John Voight passes us and we're laughing at the idea that this is where Meghan wants her interview. This is where Meghan wants to be seen. It's just so basic B word, right? And I love this about Kitson because you know that this is the type of store Meghan loitered around
Oh, yeah.
trying to get papped when she was going to 90210 and Shakira auditions. Kitson was the place where Tori Spelling would pour out and Paris Hilton would pour out. This probably does kill her.
In the aughts, Kitson was like the place in LA for all those, little reality stars and the Britneys of the world and the wannabes, and they really hit their apex when they issued Team Angelina and Team Jennifer t-shirts, at the height of the Brangelina thing. And like Us Weekly always had like a reporter just parked outside to see what was going on in Kitson. It's not really relevant anymore. But I mean, Meghan had some real stiff competition. We've got the Blake Lively's of the world. We've got the Ryan Reynoldses of the world. I mean, we're compiling major lists right now for the Nerve Awards, which are airing next week. And Meghan, don't worry, you're well in the running. You're well in the running for a lot. But yeah, she's really gone to ground, which tells you, I think, that she's really kind of panicked because she can't strategize her way out of this one. She can't.
Well, I did some of her worst I did a video of her worst moments, and I thought that it was so funny because the first few comments off the top were like, "We got 30 days. Like, what are you doing? We got 30 days. Like, there's plenty she could do." And I thought, what can she do in 30 days? Well, it's not really what she did. It's what she didn't do. It's the combination of releasing a crappy Christmas special the same day her father needs an emergency surgery and her not responding appropriately. I mean, to the commenters, you were right. I was wrong. She could make 2025 even worse for herself, and she has.
Have you seen this in your algorithm that 2025 is the year of the snake?
Oh,
And it's all,
I have seen that in my algorithm, but elaborate because you've
well, it's all about shedding, right? Shedding things or people or circumstances that no longer are good for you. I wonder if we're all shedding Meghan Markle this year, if we're closing out because 2026 is apparently year of the horse. So it's
yeah
really strong energy.
yeah.
It's about moving towards things and nothing's sort of in your way. And I think Meghan, her timing, we've talked about this, is really, I feel like the universe or whatever karmic energy you believe in, you sort of get what you give. And 2025 is ending with just a wallop for her, just like a wallop in the solar plexus. Many of us have had difficult relationships with our parents. I don't think any of us would ever consider something as heartless as allowing one of our 81-year-old fathers in the Philippines in ICU with a foot freshly amputated at Christmas to wait for his daughter's phone call. I mean,
Mhm.
has she not even sent flowers?
No,
I don't even think she sent flowers, Kinsey. Like the bare minimum.
well, I did see a report that said that Thomas could expect to hear from Meghan within the next 24 hours. And
Oh, goody. I'm sure he's just electrified by that.
even that is offensive that there's a countdown. Like you said, he shouldn't have to be sitting there, between pain meds, wondering if and when he's going to hear from this girl that blew him off, on her wedding day. And I do believe that he had a medical emergency before his wedding. Meghan says that she blames the paparazzi shots, but she also blames the fact that she read about his medical emergency in TMZ. TMZ.
I love, by the way, that she's still hung up on this that he sold images of himself to the paps, reading about the
Girl, you've
royal
been
family or
doing that
whatever.
for 20 years.
How many times she called the paparazzi or someone in her camp allegedly when she and Harry tried to do their own version of Remembrance Day, walking
Omid
through.
Scobie says that she called the paparazzi on herself all the time when she lived in Toronto and would like, she's like, I'm walking out of my yoga studio now. We know she calls the paparazzi on herself that she, yeah, I mean, why would she retire that? The weird pictures of her in her $6,000 maxi coat in
I
the middle
know.
of summer like that. Who's catching
Yeah,
it?
it's a Montecito. I think it's a lot like the Hamptons, where I'm coming to you now from where I'm coming. You know, the paparazzi are not out here. They're just not,
Mm.
and you have to call them. That's why whenever you see J-Lo out here, she calls
Oh,
them.
that's
Trust me.
exactly what I thought. J-Lo on a bike. J-Lo on.
Yeah, oh, she's just a fresh young girl of 12 years old, but like so but the question is really, so why is it okay for Meghan to do but not okay for her father to do?
Also, if you listen to his explanation, it's entirely legitimate and understandable. No one prepared him for the amount of attention all of a sudden received. Meghan certainly didn't. He was embarrassed and ashamed because he was papped walking out of 7-Elevens or something, similar in
Hmm.
Mexico with 6 packs of beer. And somebody approached him and said, I'm going to take some nice pictures of you to rebrand you in the media so you don't look like a slob walking, an alcoholic slob. And he said, that sounds good. Little did he know that that person, was manipulating him in a way. And they just wanted these pictures that they knew that they could sell to media for a ridiculous amount of money. But Thomas Markle, I don't think, made a ton of money off of those images because I don't think that was the ultimate objective. So I'm with you. Do you ever read the label on a typical bag of chips? It's often a science experiment with seed oils, MSG, artificial dyes, and mystery ingredients. Masa is part of a growing movement to bring back real food. Masa's chips contain just 3 ingredients: organic corn, sea salt, and 100% grass fed beef tallow. Not only do these chips avoid the bad stuff, they are crunchy and taste incredible too. Snacking on masa chips is nothing like eating regular chips. With masa, you feel satisfied, light, and energetic. No crash, bloat, or gross, sluggish feeling afterwards. You won't find yourself binging or feeling hungry. Personally, my favorite flavor of masa is the original. It's a clean and crisp taste. If you love masa, then you'll absolutely adore Vandy Crisps. Vandy, Masa's sister company, makes the most delicious 3 ingredient potato chips I've ever had. My favorite is the smokehouse barbecue because I am a Texan. Okay. Ready to give Masa or Vandy a try? Use code Kinsey for 25% off your first order at Masa Chips or vandycrisps.com, or simply click the link in the video description or scan that QR code to claim this offer. Don't feel like ordering online? Masa and Vandy are now available nationwide at your local Sprouts supermarket. Stop by and pick up a couple of bags before they're gone. Let's talk about the year of the snake, because there is a headline that I found: Prince Harry and Meghan Markle regrouping after a difficult year. Do you think that they're sitting back going, that damn year of the snake? I think that, listen to some of these quotes and tell me that they don't sound legit. A source says Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are more isolated and unpopular than ever. According to Ranker, we can confirm. Analytically, we can confirm. And reflecting on what's been their worst year while fretting 2026 will be even more miserable. Maureen, you got to tell them about the year of the horse. They had such big plans for 2025 and really believed it would be their breakthrough period.
Mm.
That is absolutely true, because in November of last year we got the Markle Sparkle headline. Instead, it's turned into a year from hell. Summing up the couple's woes, an insider said they've got very few friends to lean on. Staff continues to walk out in droves. Harry's brother, Prince William, is still baying for their blood, and their paycheck possibilities are thin and humbling. Right now, Harry and Meghan are regrouping and planning to go again. Please don't. But it all feels quite desperate and depressing, especially as they're clashing and bickering a lot more these days. It really has been a year from hell in so many respects. It's left them emotionally frayed and wondering if they're ever going to catch a break. And to that, I would say to you, was Spotify and Netflix not like the ultimate break? Anyone in their right mind would have taken those opportunities and done everything in their power to nurture those relationships. That was a pretty decent break, Spotify and Netflix.
Those were incredible breaks, and not just nurture those relationships, but really have a come to Jesus with yourself and realize you don't possess any inherent talent or originality. And what you should do is like hire the best of the best and get a loyal staff around you whose job is going to be to make you look and sound good, and then present your offering to all of us as something you've really worked hard at to differentiate yourself in, among all the noise that we're constantly bombarded with. But no, they've framed themselves as victims here. They just can't catch a break. God, if they could only catch a break. If only Oprah, if only Tyler Perry, this, that, the other thing. This is what I predict. Those two being the spoiled, ungrateful, entitled, malignant narcissists that they are. We know Charles is not well.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Markle is not well. God forbid, but it is within the realm of possibility that one or both of their fathers dies next year. And they're going to consider that the ultimate inconvenience. You know why? How's Meghan going to show her face at her father's funeral? She's not even at his bedside. How's Harry going to show his face at his father's funeral? His country hates him. You know, you think Meghan's going to go stand by his side and take those boos and take her licks? No effing way. No way. Do you think that either one of them is having a conversation about how time is now, they are in a time crunch, and now there's no more pettiness. They've got to get these grandchildren over to their respective grandfathers so their grandfathers can see their grandchildren before they die? No, no, and no. Merry Christmas, Markle style.
That's to me why 2025 seemed, in my opinion, so erratic, was because Meghan was so inconvenienced by the King and Catherine's cancer in 2024. She did not feel like she was going to get the, what she deserved when it came to attention on launching jam and chocolate and flower sprinkles. And so 2025 felt absolutely chaotic to me. When you go over everything that she's launched this year that's already dead, like Confessions of a Female Founder and With Love Meghan and all of this stuff, you're like, just throw in the towel. Like, why don't you see that things aren't working and people don't like you?
It's really quite mind-boggling. I mean, there's really nowhere else for her to go except, and this is again a conversation that, media people have amongst each other. Really, she needs a plot twist. She needs something to really shock people. For her special, she went Christmas tree shopping alone. That's something you do with your family, especially if you have little kids. The holidays, the older you get, the more you realize this kind of stuff, it's for kids.
Right. And
The joy comes from sharing it with children.
I know. And we know that those videos exist of the back of their heads because she posts them on Instagram. So like, okay, just the family less holiday special was wild to me. Like, you can't just show the back of the kids' heads, around a Christmas tree, or because we know, or old holiday photos, because they have shown their children's faces in show us old holiday photos, just so we feel a little like they're like you have any members of your family that
but they don't. And I think you hit it. I think that's exactly why there are no grandparents. There are no aunts or uncles. There are no little cousins. There's nothing. It's just those two. That's it. That's all those poor kids have.
Have you seen the stories that have started circulating? I know I've had this conversation a couple of times, so I apologize if my listeners have heard it, but it's really stuck out at me that there are stories in the tabloids about Harry stalking Meghan, not falling in love with her on Suits, that he stalked her on social media. And when I said this to somebody else, he was like, it's the other way around. And I'm like, yes, it's the other way around. I think that Meghan stalked Harry. But when I presented that story to one of my palace sources, they said, I wonder if this is a story that would be planted by Meghan. And I thought, already trying to build this narrative that that he was, crazy about her or whatever, that he's unhinged or unstable in some way. I don't know. But to me, I feel like that is a story I need to hold on to, because I feel like it's going to have a purpose later on in this soap opera that is Harry and Meghan.
Yes, we are planting the poison seeds, just my opinion. Now, the other day when you and I were talking about Megan, upon hearing that her father had an amputation performed in the Philippines, her first reaction was, well, how do I know this is true?
Yeah.
And I said to you, that reaction is born of her own experience of herself. She is a liar and she'll say anything to get attention or sympathy. And so she immediately projects her worst qualities onto her own father. An amputation in an 81-year-old man in the Philippines. How do I know that's true? What a heartless.
Right.
Okay, now the stalking, again, we are going back through our own personal history. I recall hearing and reading reports, again alleged, that it was Meghan who was desperate to work her way into Harry's circle. She found her way into Soho House and then befriending Beatrice and Eugenie. And, we saw in the first Netflix Harry and Meghan doc, as you said, the only commercially viable thing they've ever put out, those videos taken on iPhones of I believe it was like a Halloween party with Meghan and the two lumpen, unfortunate looking princesses. And and she was FaceTiming and working her way in, and she said something like, let's FaceTime Harry.
Mhm.
Let's let him get a look at me, and it went on from there. She landed her white whale. But the other thing I was going to say
And
is,
remember, she was trying to date Ashley Cole. She was telling some
oh, right.
that
And he wanted nothing to do with her.
she was trying to plant stories in the tabloids about her dating famous British men, because she wanted her face in the tabloids so that famous British men would see that she was available.
It's also rank and disgusting and sad. But the other thing I was going to say is, so her alleged reason for now, while her father's still alive, for the estrangement is he sold photos of himself to the paparazzi. Okay, the British royal family has a liability known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, who has been excised because he was friends with a world famous pedophile. And he allegedly had sex with at least one of the underage girls that Jeffrey Epstein was trafficking. So, I mean, I would say that, if there's any relative to be embarrassed by, a Thomas Markle's indiscretions pale in comparison. And my last question would be, Meghan, who really got hurt? Who really got hurt with what your father did?
No one. Her father.
Nobody.
Yeah, I mean, her father's the only one that's taken the hit and taken the brunt of any sort of well, no, I should say her siblings too. I feel like they get a lot of abuse online over all of this stupid drama. We've talked a little bit about Megan's fails in 2025, but based on her performance at Fortune's Most Powerful Women Summit, Megan feels like as ever is a win for her in
Hmm.
2025. So let's look at this report from SimilarWeb. This is data from October, and they say that as ever received 196,831 monthly visitors. That's roughly a quarter of Goop.com's visitors. They receive over 800,000. Page views told a similar story. An industry expert said, it's a relatively new brand. Meghan is establishing something from scratch, so it's expected that it reached only a portion of Goop's audience, especially given Goop's long-standing presence. But she is still viewing the figures as her ultimate mortification, as she idolizes Gwyneth and her success so much. Now, does she really have any excuse for not getting decent traffic to her website when whether she wants to be or not, although she always wants to be, is in the news almost every single day?
Absolutely not. She is a built-in brand. I think her real problem is it goes to the base of everything that you and I have been discussing. The bulk of people who are decent are repelled by this woman. She's a fraud. She's a phony. she reveres one thing, and it's fame.
Hmm.
And uh, she'll step over anybody to get where she wants to go. So you can't sell yourself as relatable, compassionate, um, a builder of home and hearth, of be kind. Remember, everyone, be kind. What was their other phrase? Show up and do good.
Show
I
up,
think
do good. Yeah.
they're destroyers. They're
Yeah.
destroyers. They destroy everything and everyone in their path. They've tried to destroy the British royal family and the monarchy itself, and it hasn't worked. And most people with strong self-preservation instincts, whether these are people who are actually in your life or they're parasocial relationships, uh, find it in their best interest to keep their distance from destroyers.
Mm. And it's interesting because she likes content creation. Otherwise, she wouldn't leave us alone on social media. As ever, could have been a similar entity to the TIG, but with product. I think she doesn't like to work.
Oh, she doesn't like to work. No, no, no. She loves to be on camera and spout inanities. This is a deeply incurious mind, like deeply incurious. She had Tom Colicchio in her kitchen, and that could have been a really fun episode.
Yeah.
You're doing a cooking show. It could have been a really, really fun episode. And what did she do? The inner destroyer in her cannot be tamed. She was like, let's make a salad with all of the ingredients that my husband hates,
Yeah.
and then let's present it to him and pretend it's a gag.
Yeah.
That was really dark. I found it extremely dark.
I said the same thing. I was like, what healthy relationship, does this? I thought he was great too. He was a breath of fresh air because otherwise they went back to some of season one's editing mistakes when all the girls are in the pajamas and all they're doing is fawning over Meghan's display of food. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
No
Mm.
conversation.
Yeah,
No conversation whatsoever. I
right.
mean, on the good with Love Megan with a Y, Megan and I have conversations, but these girls, they look petrified to be in her presence, to say one thing wrong, to put a foot wrong. Like it feels like they haven't seen her since their sorority days, if their friendship dates that far back. That moment where her friend Lindsay comes in the kitchen. So there's two moments that I found really fascinating. One is the tall one enters the kitchen, Kelly,
Kelly.
and uh her since deceased dog, and I'm so sorry her dog died for the dog, but he's probably in a much better place, let's get real.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. So she scoops up the dog. Kelly comes in, and Megan bends down, scoops up the dog, and uses the dog as a buffer between her and Kelly as they hug. So
Weird.
it's very, and she offers her cheek. Like, no, you kiss me. You can, like, not I'm welcoming you into my home. I'm so happy to see you. Here's a hug. Then in comes Lindsay, and Lindsay makes a beeline for Kelly to hug Kelly, not Megan. And Megan goes, "Oh my God, you're so much blonder." Now, women everywhere know that is a cut. That is a lance. That is a shiv. What Megan, the subtext of that was, "Oh my God, you went lighter and you got your roots done all for my show." Because you have a 5-second guest spot on my show, and how pathetic are you that you would go to all that trouble while I'm standing here effortless? I mean, my hair isn't even combed, and I'm just getting stray hairs in everything I'm cooking, and I'm not even washing my hands, but you're the pathetic one. And Lindsay looks shocked, like you can see her look around and like she's looking for an anchor to hold on to, and she looks right in a camera lens, like, oh my God, did she just say that? And then Lindsay subsequently said that she spent more time in the air traveling to get to Meghan for this show than actually on the ground and on set with Meghan for this show with Meghan at all. And I'm sure she wasn't paid, and that's the thanks she got.
Oh
That
my
a
God.
humiliation.
Did you notice the weird dance Megan did when Kelly and Lindsay hugged too in the background? Like, I need attention. I need attention. So Megan starts dancing in the background. And I'm just like, you're such a strange person.
She is like that person everybody shuns, but with reason.
Yeah,
You know,
for
like
sure.
she's a bad person. She's got malintent. Like those people there, those women, they were props, and you could see it when they move into another outbuilding to craft wreaths. And this again, this is the lie of the whole enterprise, because women as wealthy as Meghan spend their money to maximize their time.
Yeah.
So they're not sitting at home making wreaths, like picking leaves. Like they're not. They're like they've got an assistant who's going around, who's sourcing wreaths for them and
Yeah.
then purchasing them. That's it. And but anyway, while they're doing this exercise, Lindsay and Kelly are basically saying nothing to Meghan. They're like, go big or go home. Just put some elbow grease in.
Yeah.
It's like there's no actual organic banter. There's no teasing. There's no like, Meghan, when was the last time you really picked up anything? Like, let's
Yeah.
get real.
Yeah.
There's like nothing.
Yeah.
They seem like strangers.
Yeah. No, I mean, the last time I saw you, I told you I had shaved my legs for the first time in 3 months twice because of you. And you said, I'm good for you, Kinsey. I mean, we tease. We're legitimately friends. We tease.
Well, can I tell them my favorite thing that you ordered or tried to order when we had dinner at the
Yeah.
Polo Lounge? So, and like I'm just going to be unabashed about it. I love that place. It's old Hollywood, it's history, it's an experience. I love it. Um, so the we had this great waiter named Sal. He was an
I miss
older
Sal.
man.
I miss Sal.
And at the end of the meal, he was like, "Would you girls like or ladies like coffee or dessert or anything?" And you said, "Sal, can you do me a favor? Meghan Markle was just here, and they served her, and now I have a new theory about it. A latte with her face imprinted in the foam. Can you give me one of those? Can I get Meghan's face imprinted in the foam?" And he was like, "I have no idea what you're talking about. I
He's
have
like,
no
wait,
idea what you're
yeah, didn't
talking
he say
about."
we don't do that here? Didn't he say
He
that?
said something like, "Our baristas are gone for the day, and I don't know where they would get that photo." And now I think that Meghan called ahead, said, "I'm bringing a reporter from Variety. I'm planning to order the following things. I want the table cleared by time certain so I can get the F out. And at the end of it, I want you to bring me a latte with my face in the foam." And they did it.
Yeah,
That's what I think happened because I've never heard nor seen of anything like that.
I
I'm
know.
sorry.
That's what I was thinking too. And he said, because he made it sound like that was not an easy execution. And I was
I'm
like,
sure it's
okay, if
not.
you're going above and beyond, then did Meghan instigate this specifically for her interview? And you know that I almost cursed right now because
Mhm.
it irritates me so much. But when she calls and when she has someone else call and make her dinner reservations, that she says, therefore, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, because she wants the best table, the best experience. And again, it's just like, ew. But you guys are such losers. Like, you're not members of the royal family anymore. And it's a good I'll let you react, but it's a good segue into what Harry's been doing lately that's just giving me the ick.
I don't think John Voight asks for his face in the foam.
No.
He's got an actual acting career behind him. I believe he has an Oscar.
Yeah.
I yeah, I wonder when you say they call and their people say like, "Oh, it's for the Duke and Duchess."
This holiday, while others are chasing the rush, find your sense of calm with Peak. Peak is a luxury wellness brand powered by rare plants and cutting edge ingredients, offering the perfect remedy for the season's hustle and bustle. Their science backed botanicals, minerals, and vitamins support metabolic function, immune health, sustained energy, and radiant skin. In this festive season, choose serenity as the ultimate luxury with Peak. One of their newest essentials, the Deep Hydration Protocol, is a day to night electrolyte system that keeps your body and skin hydrated while promoting better sleep. Enjoy a focused boost without the jitters or crash. The natural balance of caffeine and calming compounds keep you centered and alert all day long. Nutrients in their matcha help curb sugar and hunger cravings, making it easier to stick to your wellness goals. I've been using the Deep Hydration Protocol every night for the past 2 months, and my skin has never looked so plump and dewy. I wake up looking and feeling like I got plenty of sleep. Ready to gift the glow? Unlock 20% off for life for yourself and everyone on your list. Give the gift of glowing health this holiday season. Get started at peaklife.com/Kinsey. That's PIQUE life.com/Kinsey.
I think my favorite takeaway from Meghan this year was the absolute unhinged Norma Desmond Baby Jane moment in the Variety profile where the writer goes to meet her at a townhouse in New York and a house manager answers the door and nobody else is in the house except Meghan and this journalist, and he announces, "Meghan, Duchess of Sussex," and she's not even in the like it's the wildest, craziest, most delusional, outer limits thing I've heard all year. And I just think, she can't outrun this year. This year has been her own annus horribilis, and there's not a more deserving person on the planet.
Yeah, it's weird because when I first read that Harper's Bazaar article, I thought to myself, she was less weird than she was in the cut. Remember in the cut, she says the palm trees outside are her and Harry holding hands. She says that her and Harry are the salt and pepper shakers. She says that people were dancing in the streets when she was married. Like, how am I forgetting this man's name? Nelson, like
Nelson
they did
Mandela was freed.
Nelson Mandela was freed. She says so many. She tells the journalist, do you want to know a secret? I think I'm coming back to Instagram. You don't tell a freaking journalist a secret. Obviously you want people to know you're coming back to Instagram. But that line in the Harper's Bazaar piece about her, and it's twice that she's announced in that piece, I think it's almost more damaging because it tells us that she is out of control. And this is the same woman that said on Oprah and said that, the titles and those things didn't mean anything to her. Really? Okay, because actions say otherwise. I know I got to let you go soon, but I really wanted to ask you quickly. I've been looking at what Prince Harry is doing lately. And my question to you is Harry trying to pivot to comedy to change his image? Because for years he's leaned heavily into the victimhood narrative, and we've seen audiences reject that. He seems eager to turn that around. We saw him sit down in October with Hassan Minaj, not funny, but he was giving it his all with his American accent, talking about cyber trucks and whatever. The Stephen Colbert skit, personally offended by that. It was just so not funny, so not cute. And then this week or last weekend on Friday, he was at the British American Business Council's Christmas lunch. And if you read the speech, it's like joke after joke after joke after joke. And I seriously think that he is trying. Somebody said to him, "Why did people love you?" "Oh, you were Mr. Fun Time. You were the silly royal. You were Mr. Good Time. Let's try to get you back there." And I just think that too much damage has been done, and first impressions matter. And in the States, our real first impression of him, seeing a raw interview, was him crying because his daddy cut his money off at 40 years old. And you're also a father of two. There's just no going back, in my opinion.
It reminds me of the comedy chops. Remember when Megan was announcing another one of her budget initiatives that went nowhere, which was like 40 for 40 or
Yeah,
something?
40 by 40. Yeah.
And she got like Melissa McCarthy on a Zoom, and she had in the window Harry juggling like an idiot. Like that,
Hmm.
and that was supposed to be funny and whimsical. And
Do
like
you
Melissa,
do you remember her with a baby bottle in her mouth on Ellen,
oh God, I was thinking about
squatting?
that the other day, squatting in the street with her legs akimbo. And she thinks she's the future of the British royal family there. She's plotting her rival court. Again, this year we had the twerking video.
Oh
The
God, yeah.
twerking video with the belly that just looks like a pillow. It looks like a pillow. It does not look like that as a very pregnant woman at all. I think, but when I saw that on your list of topics to discuss today, that Harry gave some speech to like a business consortium or whatever for the holidays,
Uh-huh.
it's like a kind of end of the year morale booster. Like, hey, everybody, like we abused you all year at work, but we're bringing in a celebrity, and
Yeah,
right. I really think that's his future. The
yeah.
paid speaking circuit in B markets throughout the continental United States, where they will put him up at like a Hyatt. It'll be a presidential suite, but it'll be at a Hyatt or a mid-level Hilton that's about 20 minutes from the airport. That, I believe, is his very grim future indeed.
I heard he made $300,000 for that speech.
Well, let's break that down though, Kins, because like, okay, you got to pay taxes. That's not taxed money. Half of that money's going to the tax man. Then you
Hmm.
got to pay the agent and the managers who like brokered that for you. And you got to pay
Right.
your lawyers too, because I'm sure there was a contract involved. So he is netting, I'm going to say 125 to
Wow.
150.
That just seems like an exhausting life for me. I don't think that that would be something he would enjoy picking up, or maybe he does because as we've said, maybe things aren't wonderful, all hunky dory at home. So maybe it is a nice little escape, and he wants to at least look like he's contributing. But to pick up, and because he was also in Toronto the day before he did Colbert, a Hilton in Toronto doing a speech for real estate agents. They didn't include that in the list because he was actually kind of a during that and wouldn't allow photos or video, and talked about his mother dying and talked about how difficult it was growing up in the royal family. So it's like this does seem like his future, but I feel like I think that the comedy aspect is I think that that is a PR move and a PR conversation that's been had. Like, no, nobody likes you. We got to get them to like you. You've got to come off as funny. You'll go on Colbert.
Yeah, go on this loser's show, the guy who just killed the entire late night franchise. I mean, they won't take really good advice. Here's what I would tell them, but I'm smarter than they are.
Duh.
Uh, First of all, they should have done some kind of spoof of themselves on SNL. They should have shocked the audience in America by like walking in on a cold open or something. People love that. And people love it when you can laugh at yourself. You know, Ben Affleck did a really smart thing after Gigli bombed. Like he went on SNL and like made real fun of himself.
Yeah.
And his career was in real trouble. And
And
then the other,
Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively did the same thing, and they're not on the Kitson display this year.
they should be, their
I know.
heads should be on a spike. But oh wait, the other thing. Oh, this is the other thing I would have said, and I've said this before. After Meghan Kelly and I did with Love Meghan with a Y, Meghan Markle's people should have called Meghan Kelly's people and said she would love to do one with you.
Yeah.
Can she come and play like the annoying neighbor and make real fun of herself? And like people would have liked that. But they can't, because you can't be funny if you don't have a sense of humor, and you can't be funny if you're not smart. And both of those negatives hold true for the dastardly duo, the gruesome twosome as I call them. They're not smart and they don't have senses of humor. They certainly cannot laugh at themselves. So I do think this is Harry's future. He's going to be doing paid speaking gigs, and they're not going to last very long because honestly, those are the only things he can talk about, like his mother's death. How old is he now?
He's
Kinsey?
40, 41, 40 something. Yeah, he's 40 or 41.
It's been decades
Yes.
since she died. He hasn't integrated this in a healthy way and moved on with his life. You know,
Mm.
he's married a woman who, again, as I say, is metaphorically skinning Diana's carcass and wearing it around town and in her Harper's Bazaar shoot. It's very creepy.
It is. All right. What's to come on the nerve this week if somebody's watching us on Wednesday? What else do you have coming up?
Oh, okay. So the Nerve at Night is tonight, Wednesday, drops at 5 p.m. Eastern. We've got gossip columnist extraordinaire Rob Shooter talking about the latest scandal from a reputational standpoint. We're going to talk Hollywood. We're going to talk the Golden Globes, all the movies that have been nominated that no one has seen. We're going to talk a little Timothy Shamalama Ding Dong and his ping pong movie. Yeah, we got a lot of really, really good stuff. It's a good time over there tonight.
Do you think Timothy and Kylie broke up?
Well, I saw they were just photographed again on the red carpet.
No.
They're both wearing orange. Like he's wearing like an orange suit and he's got his hand like on the top of her ass. And I think he's of two minds. I really loathe this kid. I mean, you know, he's 31 or 32, but he presents like a child. Uh, I think he's of two minds. Part of him thinks that he needs to appear as like a manly man who has a lot of heterosexual sex. So what's better than this blow up doll on his arm, right? And
Yeah.
then another part of him thinks, but I want an Oscar and I want to be taken seriously by the Academy. And so I need to be serious and I need to dump this girl.
Well, I'm watching Homeland right now for the first time, and he's so
Oh
cute
yeah?
in it. So
He's in
precious in it.
that?
Yeah. He plays the vice president's son, and
I
he's
totally
precious in it.
forgot he was in that. I totally forgot he was in it.
All right. Well, agree with us, disagree with us. Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. And please go subscribe to The Nerve. You will not regret it. Plenty of good, fun gossip. And Maureen is always holding the powerful accountable. And that's what we applaud. Happy holidays from us to you. And we promise we did not plan this outfit situation. I almost changed, but we thought, you know what? Let's just show the people how in tune we are when it comes to fashion sometimes.
We're very much of like minds, you know. What
Yeah.
better reflection of that? You know, Meghan Markle would never have stood for it, Kinsey.
No, because she's the royal family didn't allow her to wear fun things.
No color, nothing to stand out. But like, no, if you had shown up and you were interviewing her, you would have been sent straight to wardrobe
Yeah.
for costume change.
Oh, for sure. Something beige. All right. Well, Edie, do you want to say hi? Edie wants to say hi.
Aw.
Okay. This is Edie.
Oh, how
And
cute. Oh my God.
now everybody's jumping up. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Bye, everyone.